it's Michelle, and my birthday is coming up in the month of June, so I wanted to show you all another little bead charm that I have come up with, and I did this again using my Dremel tool. I've really enjoyed using this lately. I've been able to make some elements that I wouldn't have been able to have otherwise. I'm learning to modify beads and do different things, and I'm really having a blast because I really like to be able to have something a little bit different, and I really wanted to show you all this one. I was looking online for some flower shaped beads, and I came across this here, which is not a bead. It is just a flat back flower embellishment, and I thought it was really pretty. This is not even the kind that I was looking for the project that I was planning at the time, but I came across this through my search for flower beads, and in the photo shown on the listing, it showed several of these laying out, and one of them was turned sideways in the photo, and that was what I saw right there. And the one that was laying in this direction is the one that absolutely caught my eye, because that just looked like a cupcake base to me. So that's what I thought of. So I went ahead and ordered them, and I thought, well, I can turn that into a cupcake base. So what I decided to do was to turn that into a bead, and so then when I was trying to figure out how I would do my cupcake, I thought that this sparkly white shamballa bead would just make the perfect icing on top, but we'll have to modify that too. And the only bead that will not be modified will be my 4mm red pearl for the cherry on top. Okay, now to turn this into a bead, the first thing I did was to take my Dremel with my smallest bit here, the 1/32 of an inch, and I drilled a hole right through the center of that, which was very easy to find. It's kind of pinpointed there for you in the formation of the flower, so I just drilled right through the center of that to make a hole for my head pin. And then actually the inside of the flower here just kind of stuck up a little high and got in the way of my other bead for what I wanted that to be. So I went ahead and cleaned the inside of that out. And first I got my wire cutters, and I just came in and started nipping at that inner layer of the flower to get rid of that excess material so it'd be out of my way, because with that in there it just caused my shamballa bead to stand up way too high. And I just continued to nip away at that the best that I could, and then I came in with my Dremel again, this time fitted with a grinding tool, and I turned that on and just sort of ground away everything in there to smooth that out. And I just continued to do that until that was as smooth as I wanted it inside. And I have one here that I cleaned out pretty good. And as you can see, I completely beveled that out in there so that nothing protruded up in the way of my next bead. So I have my hole drilled in that. I have it ground away on the inside to where that's smooth. But then, still, my shamballa bead stood up a little too high for my liking. But, you know, if you really like that look, you can go ahead and use it like that. But I have been really into modifying these beads and making them exactly the way I want them. So if it stood up a little too high for me, then I wanted to go ahead and change that. And I'll show you all what I used. I also found online a little miniature jewelry saw. Now this is intended for broken blades from the regular size jewelry saw, and that way if you have a smaller piece of your blade from your jewelry saw, then you can just fit it into this miniature one and be able to saw and do that. So that's what I did at first. I came down, as you can see, there are 5 rows from top to bottom of these little spiked embellishments on the bead. So I came down past the 3rd one and I started sawing that. And with this handheld saw, it really took a lot longer than I had wanted it to. So the inside of these shamballa beads are much denser than you would think, and that took a lot of sawing. So if you want to do it that way, you can, and I'll include the link to that saw and to the blades that I bought for it to do that if you want to do it that way. But since I did have the Dremel, I found at Walmart that they have the little cutting wheels that you can put that on there and just use that Dremel to saw right through with that cutting wheel, and I think that would work much better. So I did that, and here was what I ended up with. Just a little more than half of that shamballa bead, and as you can see on that bottom side there, it is solid inside and it was very dense. So with that hand saw, it did take a long time. But what I ended up with was an icing topper for my cupcake that I think fits perfectly. And so now I'm ready to build my cupcake bead charm for my birthday. So I take my 2-inch head pin, and first I'm going to put on my flower bead here that I turned into a cupcake base, and then my half of a shamballa bead, and that just nestles right down inside of there as my sparkly cupcake frosting. And then I'm going to put my 4mm red pearl cherry on top. And that is all it takes to create a cupcake. It goes together really simply after you have all of your components the way that you want them. It is a little extra work, but I really love being able to personalize these things and make beads that I wouldn't be able to find otherwise. So I just bend my head pin over there, cut it down to about 1/4 of an inch, and then roll that into a loop with my round nose pliers. And then simply attach my jump ring and lobster clasp. And the way this kind of wants to shift around slightly, you could put a little bit of V6000 around the bottom edge on the underneath of that shamballa bead if you wanted to do that. But I think on mine I kind of reamed out that bottom bead enough that I believe it'll stay put pretty good. So then I just dangle that onto my jump ring and then add my lobster clasp and close it back up. And there is my cupcake bead charm. I really, really love it. So I hope you all like this project as much as I do. Be sure to comment below and let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a like on my Facebook page. Follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.